Good morning, High Point Market. We are so excited to see you all here today. Okay, so we're 4 hours into market. How are the feet? Fantastic. I told a group this morning, our motto at the High Point Market Authority is we look good from the ankles up. I'm Tammy Nagum. I'm the president and CEO of the High Point Market Authority, and we could not be happier to have you here today. We are so excited for this ENCORE keynote sponsored by our friends at Laloy. Let's give Laloy a big round of applause. And to start this market out with a packed house, this theater seats 900. Just to give you an idea, and there are not many available seats, and I still see people coming in. So we're excited that you all chose to spend some time with us this morning. We hope that you'll also take advantage of the other events that we have going on. Our goal is really to entertain you, to educate you, to give you networking opportunities, as well as fantastic product from 2,000 exhibitors here at the High Point Market. So we hope that you take full advantage of those things while you're here. Later today, we'll have Martin Lawrence Bullard take the stage at 3, so hopefully some of you will join us. Tonight at center stage in the Showplace parking lot is Nick West, fantastic artist. She is almost like a female Prince. Fantastic on the electric guitar. I urge you all to check her out. Tomorrow on this stage at 3 will be Bunny Williams, and tomorrow night will be the Goo Goo Dolls. So please come out and join us at center stage for that. We are so happy to have this panel here today, and we're even more excited to have this panel moderated by our friend Dennis Scully. There he is. Dennis is the moderator of the Business of Home podcast, and he is our moderator for today. So I'm going to pass it over to Dennis.
Why, thanks, Tammy. And why don't you all come on out? Here's our amazing panel. Absolutely. Come on out. Right? What a crowd, right, Joe?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
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 Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Was that someone from my team? Because I'm feeling a bit insecure.
Love
Thank you.
I love that the audience is already participating. This is great. This is exactly the kind of energy we want. So sure, feel free to just shout out throughout the talk. If something resonates with you, why not? So, as Tammy just nicely mentioned, I am Dennis Scully, the host of the Business of Home podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We are thrilled to have you here, and you're so kind to all line up in the gracious way that you did, and we're thrilled that you are as excited about this panel as we are. As you see, it's a pretty illustrious group.
Illustrious.
Do you like that, Amber?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big word.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. Right. See, now you're feeling like you're a big deal, right? Yeah. I thought so.
Much more comfortable.
I thought that. Yeah. Now you can really settle in.
Just over here
Yeah.
being illustrious.
Yeah. So I'm going to have each member of said illustrious panel introduce themselves. Leanne, I'm going to kick it off with you.
Hi, I'm Leanne Ford, and thank you.
Mom, sister.
I'm totally tagging along on this panel, and I love it. I'm just here to spy, just like all of you. And I'm based now in Pittsburgh, my hometown, so I'm doing interior design.
We love a last-minute write-in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, unexpected treat, rock star Leanne Ford.
We're like the traveling Mulberries right now.
Love it.
I am Amber Lewis. Thank you. Thank you very much to everybody who's going to get a prize after the show. You get a prize. I am an interior designer. I am a shop owner. I'm an author, and I am a licenser, in a nutshell.
Okay.
Do you want me to
Okay.
go? I'm
Way
a
to be
mother.
vague there.
Oh,
Sure.
I'm a
Yeah.
mother,
Okay.
mother. I'm a mommy.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
a great friend.
Oh.
To you
To
specifically.
me, I know you're a great friend to me, and I'm grateful.
I
Thank
love
you.
dogs and long
Yes.
walks.
Yes.
Kitties.
All right. Okay. Good stuff. All right, we got to move on, Amber. All right, Bridget, over to you.
We have how much time? Okay, you're good. Sorry.
All right. And that's our panel. Thanks so much, Amber. That was great. All right. Thanks for coming, everyone. Bridget, over to you.
Hi, I'm Bridget Romanek. And I,
Right?
thank you guys. And I'm an interior designer. I do product development, and my line of rugs is launching today.
Yes.
Very, very exciting.
Very exciting.
And I am a mom too, and I like my friends. So yes, a good friend. Some of them. No,
Friends are
I'm just
important.
kidding. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Joanna Gaines. My husband and I have Magnolia, based in Waco,
Joanna wants us
Texas.
to think that she and her husband just have a little business. And
Mom
Come
and
see
pop
us.
shop.
yeah, come see us.
In Waco, Texas, where
Okay.
we have real estate renovations, retail,
Yeah.
my favorite, and food, all things home.
Right.
And then I have 5 beautiful babies at home.
Indeed. Indeed. One of whom has prom
She has
tonight.
prom.
So
Yes.
So I'm going to be home
Joe's
by
got to get
4.
home to do her hair.
She
so
has asked me to do her hair,
we
which
can-
is huge. I've
Yeah.
played it really cool.
That's
but
so
I have been YouTubing
it's
how
a
to
bit
do
of a
that
high
spiral.
pressure moment for Joe. So if she seems a little distracted, it's just
I'm stressed.
she's trying to figure out doing her daughter's hair later for her prom. Okay, just
I think last
just so
panel
you're
you were,
with
like,
us fully for
watching
everything
Taylor
that's going
Swift,
on.
yeah.
Part of the reason, and all joking aside, and Leanne, I'm going to kick this over to you for a second. Part of the reason that I wanted to give the audience a sense of the scope and size of each of your businesses is really in part because I want to use that as a way to jump into your philosophy, if you will, your approach to how you think about the business that you want to have. And some of you have much larger businesses than perhaps you'd even like to have, and others have strategically kept it small, as in your case, Leanne, because you like your freedom and you like to be able to pick and choose where you go and how. So tell us a little bit about that philosophy.
Thank you, Dennis.
Sure.
Yeah. We talked earlier. I'm definitely artist first and creative first, which I've kind of like come to grips with in terms with like in my 20s, in my 30s, and now in my 40s. I just really, for me, creating is my joy, in all forms. I mean, I'm like creating product, creating, I don't know, anything, not food, anything but food. I'm like horrible at food.
Well, Joe might be able to help you.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll see.
I can't do no hair, no, but creating product, creating pottery in my studio, like that's, I mean, and it's all, doesn't even have to be good. I just need to get it out. So for me, getting things out is kind of my number one. And I never wanted to have a firm. I never wanted to have a big company. I want to be able to create kind of fully and solely, a lot of times alone or with a very small team. And that's kind of been a chosen experience for me. Because, we had TV and we did a lot of things, and, a lot of opportunity comes up from that, and you get a lot of people asking to do things. And a lot of times I just said no, which is scary as a freelancer. Like as a freelancer, I'm like, yes, 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 I'll do it. And then I came to the point where I got to say no. And I always say this, but you say no to good so you can say yes to great. And I really my time is really important to me. And I find I'm better at what I do when I do what I love, mainly. So I mean, this is like, they're such an incredible designers, and I'm definitely going to ask them a million questions when we're not microphoned, but
Leanne will be doing her own panel
yeah,
later
totally.
with
Yeah,
us.
that's like
Yeah.
the very VIP section.
Yeah.
But I love watching these companies grow and how it grows. I just really very consciously decided to take a different model.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I so appreciate that. And so picking up on that, what to say yes to, what to say no to, Amber, tell us a little bit about how you think about that.
It's been ironically not strategic. I think I've really run and grown my business based on gut and how I feel in the moment. And I've always really chosen partners or vendors or made crazy moves to like open another store or just open a store in general or whatever I was doing at the time. Did it feel right for me? Did it feel like the right move? And I always just tried to, I know that's a little hokey, but try to pay attention to my gut and just do what felt authentic to who I was. And that has truly been, in my mind, why I've been able to continue to grow a business that's endured. Is that what this is called? Enduring.
Look at you bringing it home to the title of the conversation.
It's called a callback,
wow.
sir.
Now that's a great panelist, right? I mean, yeah.
Don't worry.
That is
done this before.
You are world class, no question.
I am. No, but I got here on accident, in my opinion. I say on accident. Nothing has ever been sought after. It has really just been things that have come my way, and I've really had to stop. Do I want to do this? Does it feel right? Does it feel crazy? I kind of like if it does feel a little weird and a little crazy, and I'm like, I'm going to push.
That's what you
button.
like.
I do.
You go towards that.
I do. I'm a very fearless entrepreneur because I really kind of went into it going like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I mean, come on. What am I going to do? Lose everything? Yeah.
What the heck?
Look at how easy I make it look, you guys. Exactly. But no, I've just run on my gut.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Good stuff. Bridget, what do you think?
I honestly didn't know interior design was a career. I
Didn't even know this was a job.
Yeah.
Nope,
There you go.
had no clue.
Yeah.
I really didn't. And for me, it started by someone liking my house and asking me for help. And I my ignorance being bliss, and I say that in such a great way. I was like, okay, sure. And I had no idea what I was kind of doing or what it would lead to. So it was just really, really organic. And it continues to be honest, because I didn't study design, and it wasn't necessarily, it's my passion and my love, and I know I'm home now, and that feels amazing, but it wasn't a plan. It wasn't something that I said, this is what I'm going to do. I promise you I didn't know it could be a career. And so my firm is 5.5 years old now, and so I just keep pushing and going and discovering new things and saying yes and saying no and trusting my gut and making mistakes, all of it. But it's fine because I know it's where I'm supposed to be. So even in its toughest moments, I'm here for it, and I really, really love it. So yeah, I feel grateful.
Okay. So Joe, so many opportunities present themselves to you hourly.
Not true. No.
You're very thoughtful about what you say yes to and what you lean into.
I was thinking about, so I'm more the fearful one when you talk about risk, and thankfully I'm married to Chip Gaines, who there is not a bone in his body that he loves risk, he loves fear. And when I think about my life pre-Chip, I think about I was strategic, I had a plan, I had, and I don't really remember the plan. I think actually I do remember. It was broadcast journalism. I wanted to be a news anchor. But I remember saying no to a lot of things because of that fear of failure, that idea of risk. I didn't want to do it. I get married to Chip, and I haven't been able to really say no since, because it's just like once you start moving forward and you start really understanding that really at the end of the day, Chip kept saying in the beginning, what are you afraid of losing? And if we lose it all, we'll get back up and we'll figure it out. And so when I had that in my back pocket, it was kind of like, and I had that momentum. Yeah. And so for me, these yeses also mean a lot of no's as you're carving out, but didn't strategize any of this. Do feel like, how did I land here? What happened? But also, I know from the very beginning when we were building this, the intention of all of it was home. The intention was that idea of how do you create that space and that feeling. And so from there, it was a gut instinct thing. As we said yes to things and no to things, the point was we're moving forward. Even in the no, you're still moving forward. And so I'm thankful for this life on the second half of my life. You know, from 0 to 25, I was a no person. And then from about, I'll say 35, there was a 10-year me fighting it with Chip. But from 35 to 45, I'm a yes person. So that's the journey.
Don't you think Joanna would have made a great broadcast journalist, though?
Yes.
Can't you see her doing the nightly news?
There's still
and
time,
just-
Joe. There's
I
still
mean,
time.
If this doesn't work out for you,
I
just-
may do it.
I'm just
I
saying.
just want a teleprompter.
Could Magnolia just have like a news show and just
Maybe.
You know, we're there for it. Is all I'm saying. So while I have you, Joanna, I went out into the crowd earlier, the lovely people that were waiting online, to ask what they wanted to hear and if they had some questions. And one of the questions that came up was, could you ever imagine rolling Magnolia out across the country? Just like taking America by storm. Could you see it?
You know, anything that we have said yes to, there's always that sense of how are we connecting with our guest, with the audience? How can we form that connection? And when we've expanded in Waco, if you haven't been to the silos, come. There's some fun stuff to do there. But the whole thought there was, as people are coming here, how do we connect with them? How do we engage? Whether it's the magazine, the network, it's always been about that connection. As I think towards the future, that's a dream. That would be amazing to expand. But I think this last year, as we've celebrated 20 years having Magnolia, the thing I've kind of told the whole team is this year we're gonna really understand what we're holding, and we're gonna hold it well as we reflect back to what got us here, go back to those principles that were our guiding light, like get grounded in that foundational stuff first, and then dream about the future. And it could potentially be that. It could be, no, we're gonna make Waco the best place to come visit, to experience the silos and the brand and Magnolia. So I don't have an answer yet, but I will say that is something that I've told myself this year, more than even looking forward. It's how do I look back and really understand what it is that we have, hold it well, be grateful, all the things. Because I feel like life just goes fast. And when you're making decisions and you're saying yes, you forget what you're holding and you just grow. And I told the team, I'm not growing for growth's sake. Like, I just don't want to keep growing. I want to understand why. Why do we want to go there? And if that why is a beautiful why, and it goes back to our intent of making space for meaningful moments in life and home, then maybe we will. Or maybe we'll just... I'm in the process right now, which is why I don't have an answer.
No. Understood.
Any therapist out there,
Yeah.
I really would love to
She's working
walk through this
some
with
things
somebody.
right now.
I told Dennis, don't
She-
ask me that question.
She'll get back to us.
I don't have an answer.
I told her I would tiptoe into that question and
tiptoed.
tiptoe
It was
right
perfect.
back out, and now I'm out again, right?
Now I think
And-
I've just confused
yes.
people, so I don't know.
And
I
no.
can't wait. I can't wait to know. Let's just
You
say
and I are
that.
going to talk more in
Yes,
the
we
near
are.
future.
Yes.
Yes, so stay tuned for that. But it's a wonderful segue into the growth question and the crazy few years that everyone in the business, everyone in this room has gone through. We had this incredible COVID demand, and everything was going crazy. Everybody wanted everything all at once and couldn't get it. Amber's lead times were, I can't even remember.
Calm down. It wasn't just mine. Joe, how were your lead times during that? Singled out. You wait. It's coming.
So now, Amber, while I have you, tell me where things are now. Have things settled down a little bit? Have you caught your breath? Rumor has it you've got a great big furniture launch, so
That's
you're
right.
feeling expansive. Have you all heard about Amber Lewis for Four Hands? I mean, yeah, pretty exciting. So
Lloyd's afraid. Lloyd's afraid
Yeah,
they're not going to be
no,
my
they-
favorite anymore. So calm down.
they know they have to share
Yes,
you.
that's happening.
But
Yeah.
you're feeling expansive. So
Yeah.
tell me how you're feeling. Have things settled a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it the last panel, but the things that we learned during COVID was we just had to re-pivot all the time. It was like, how do we pivot to do something that's customer facing? But we really can't anymore. How do we also make sure that we're giving ourselves, room to continue to grow without setting really high expectations and then letting people down? I mean, we were all in it. So I think taking the lessons from that, we're steadily growing. And I am a firm believer of the retail store. I don't want it to die. I've said this 1,000 times.
Right? This audience likes
You
that.
guys, we
Yeah.
can't let it die. Like, we have to keep a main street. We have to keep stores open. I am a shopper.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm a shopper. I want to walk into a store. I appreciate e-com. Of course I do. I have to. I love it. It is the way that the majority of the country or
Sure.
whomever is going to be able to buy the products that we're selling. But the idea of being able to walk into a store and physically feel and see and sit on the sofa or look at the textures or look at all the hard work that you put into making these products, I don't want it to die. So that is, to me, the dream that I will hang on to for as long as I can, which is why we keep expanding in the retail space, given all the doomsday discussion about it. Screw it, I'm not listening. I'm going to be very fearless in this and decide that, I'm not scared. I want it to, I don't want retail to die, damn it.
Damn it. Well, this room is with you. I'm with you.
I hope so.
My family's
You guys,
in retail
we're the
business.
only
I'm
ones who
there.
can control it. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if we're the buyers and the sellers and the consumers, then aren't we the only ones who can control that?
Well, from your
Some
lips
food
to
for
God,
thought.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. Leanne, how do you think about that? How do you think about how these past few years have impacted how you think about where you want to go? You've got a collection with Crate. You've got other things that you're doing. How do you think about it?
Well, I mean, I love product so much. I think, having your space that you love, I really believe the more of us that love the space we're in, like, we leave happier, we go to the grocery store happier, we're kinder to those around us. Like, I believe kind of providing product of beautiful things that people feel good in is such a service. I don't think you need to go on vacation to love where you're staying and sleeping. Like, you should love your own home. So all of this is kind of, we're all in that business of providing something beautiful for you to love the space you're in. And a lot for designers to, for them to do that for their clients. And that's really important. For me, I just wanted to create product that I felt like we could get in America a lot of times. I'm always kind of looking at obscure Paris apartment, whatever. And being able to create products that we can have here, but that are beautiful and easy and attainable. And that's been really special to me. But I mean, I just went into my first foray in Main Street in my little hometown in Swickley, Pennsylvania. And I'm doing a store with my husband's shop, which is Buck Mason. And I kind of tagged along. So that was, Buck Mason. Thank you. Buck Mason has.
I'm sure there's some Buck Mason fans in the audience.
The cutest
it's a
green cardigan.
cool store.
You're totally,
Yeah,
you're so
okay.
cute in that.
Yeah.
And they, I've done Buck Mason stores since they started, when I was dating the boy that started at Buck Mason, who's now my husband. And so I design all their stores, and for the first time I put my curations, my things, like my bad art, my bad pottery, I put it all in this store in our little town.
And make your husband have to sell it. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
like,
that's
good luck. Good luck.
That's a great strategy.
Nobody's bought it
Yeah.
yet, but somebody
Yeah.
will. Yeah. But
I'll be
that's
the
been
first.
I'm so tactile. I'm not, and they said, do you want to put these online or should we start? And I just don't need to. I want to move it around in the shop. I kind of my dream when I was when I'm older, I'm going to have a little mom and pop shop and move pretty things around. I'm like,
Did
why?
you want to run the cash register too?
Don't have to.
Oh God, but did you want to when you were a kid? Yeah, I did. That was
And for me, I'm, knowing what I'm good at. I'm good at creating and curating. I'm horrible at numbers and Excel spreadsheets, and I just stay away from that stuff. And that's the partnering thing. Know what you're good at and find people that are good at the opposite and combine. I'm very thankful for partnerships.
Well, and that is a perfect segue into a conversation that I wanted to have around the people that you all want to surround yourself with. And last year we had a really interesting conversation about acknowledging that you can't be good at everything. And I know that several members of this panel are quite controlling and they don't like to let go of certain things, but they all recognize they have to. I wasn't just
That
making
is like
contact with
strike
me.
9 over there, buddy. You and I are
Nice.
fighting. I'm wrestling you as soon as we get off here.
We are so going to be going at it later. I am in
I'm
so
your
much
backup,
trouble.
by the way.
Clearly.
Bridget's
Clearly.
gonna mess you up too. She just told me.
No.
I got you.
Joe thinks I was
Have you
looking at
seen
her
Leanne's
while I was
shoes?
saying that. I mean, there's no way for me to win in this, but no, but that's such an important part of this because I think the ability to scale and the ability to really grow a business, there comes that moment where you realize you can't do it all yourself and you can't control every little thing. Yay, though you might want to. Joanna, it's not about you specifically, Joanna, but hypothetically, let's say you were the kind of person who was.
Right? Jeez.
Yes.
That would be hard.
That would be hard for you to imagine, but.
Well, I was thinking, so in the beginning, because I'm reflecting these days, I remember when it was just me and Chip in the little office with our little store, and we needed one employee, and we were terrified. We looked at our numbers, we were like, we can't afford one employee, and so we had to figure out our expenses, and to hire that one employee was like an actual risk. We did it, and then we realized, that one employee does amazing things, then it allows us to do other things. And when I think back to those days, and I think now how the company has grown, and I think about the people that I'm surrounded by every day at the office that feel like dear friends and family, I think we couldn't do this without them. And Chip has always said 1 + 1 doesn't just equal 2. When you bring the right people on, it can equal so much more. And so when I go back to those early days and think about our first 1 and 2 hires and how it made me feel like I could do so much because of the weight and the gift that they were bringing to the table. And then now, 20 years later, I think about the team, and a lot of them are here today. And I just think, I'm so inspired by them. They do things so much better than I can do. I'm learning from them. And I think that's the position I always want to find myself is, how am I learning from my partners at work? Like, I call them partners. I don't like saying employees. Like, we're partnering to do the same thing. We're marching towards the same path, the same vision. And so the idea that I get to learn from them and partner with them is such a great gift.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and it's so important to recognize that. Bridget, you were talking earlier, so here's Bridget, who's like, I didn't even know interior designer was a job, and she's on the AD 100 list, for heaven's sakes. I mean, so, wow. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
I mean, tell me how, tell us how you did it. I mean, tell us what you had to go through to grow into all that's happening for you.
Well, I think one of the best things for me was to surround myself with people that I could have conversations with and people that challenge me. And I know ultimately it's my decision, but it's really great to learn because someone can see something differently to you, and you have to be open to that and try to listen to that, take that in and say, you know what, I think that's amazing. And sometimes for your own business, you'll turn around and say, no, that won't work, but thank you for the idea. But I was just aware that I needed people with me to stand beside me and to, we have the same goal and maybe different ways of getting there, but I just think that's really great because you learn and you grow. And I was as shocked as you guys with AD, so that was really amazing, but it did open up so much, so much. And when people started calling and asking for me to work in their homes, I was just honored and grateful, but it became, okay, there's one of me, and so there does have to be another team member and maybe another one, and it's really great because having the same vision and the big picture, it's fantastic, but I love that there's different conversations in different ways and different understandings, and it's great to be able to say like, great, so I love it. I love the process, but yeah, a lot of work.
Well, and that was such a big part of last year's conversation, and the same holds true. There are so many different ways to find success in this industry, as each of you have discovered. And earlier when I was talking to some members of the audience and they were asking about strategy, so P.S., I asked some of our illustrious panel about strategy, and they laughed and said, strategy? What strategy? Wait, so But really, of course, you're each strategic in your own way, as we were saying earlier, about what you say yes to, how you think about it. Some of the audience wanted to know about, do you surround yourself with people who have gone to design school if you didn't? Do you surround yourself with people that have the capabilities that you don't? I mean, Amber, you've talked about that.
Yeah, a lot. Really, I hire people who lack the skills I don't have. And that has always been my motto. Okay, I really suck at this. I'm going to hire the best person that basically picks up where I can't do the job. And I think when you're scaling a business, that was the hardest thing for me to do, was to start delegating and realizing, okay, nobody wants to pay me to do the accounting. Not one person should ever pay me to do the books. A. B, or try to do CAD, or try to do all of these big time skills. You're hiring me for my eye. And it was really almost like an insult, but then wondering or realizing quickly I'm being hired for something very specific, not for how these things are getting to the end. So how do I hire the best team who's going to help me get to the end? And it was the biggest lesson. And once I started doing that, the rest is really, it becomes a lot easier. You become very clear in your point in your business, like exactly who you are for everybody on your team. And you just kind of walk away and let it happen. And you hope that you're a good enough leader to instill aesthetics and morals and ethics of like how we do things. And then the rest you just have to trust, which is really tough, but it's the only way to scale. I'm a little controlling too.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nice about it.
No,
I'll do it with a smile.
super sweet about it, sure. But also, yeah, controlling.
I just like to get in, you want
yeah.
to just, you want to just do your thing.
Leanne?
Yeah.
I mean, I am not schooled in interior design. In fact, I kind of jumped into this. I was freelance, I was in fashion, and somebody asked me to do their house. I had done my house. So I called my friend Dan Mazzarini, who's somewhere here. Dan, you're here. I know you are. He's here. And I called my friend Dan, and I said, how do I be an interior designer, right? And kind of made it I know what I want this house to look like. I have no idea how to bill for it. I have no idea to do it. And so I asked him. He gave me an hour of advice that I hung up. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do your house. And now, ever since, every designer I meet and talk to, every single one, I'm like, how do you do it? What do you do? And I have everybody's making it up. I just want you guys to know that.
That's the big takeaway. Thank you very much for coming. Yes.
We all are making it up.
So
Everyone is just making it up. There you go.
I mean, we're sitting here with three of the best of the business. And
They don't have a
making it up,
strategy
too.
and they're all making it up. There you go. Okay, thanks very much.
And done. But you're not wrong.
Done.
Everyone.
I hope this was worth the price of admission.
But I think, yeah, totally. But I think that's really freeing, honestly. I think knowing that and kind of being everybody's doing the best they can with what they've got. And there's different versions of success. And, you have to fail a lot to get to creation, and you have to fail. It has to happen. And that's okay. And, that's just progress. And knowing that nobody is everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and that's okay, and you should too. I think it's very freeing. Yeah.
Yeah, every time my business has made a massive mistake, we've made a massive shift, and it's never happened again. And I think knowing when you've done one thing wrong, as long as you don't repeat those mistakes, then you're doing better than most. That's it.
Yeah, is that how you feel?
Yeah, I agree. And I think one of the things that helped me the most was my mom said to me, the worst that can happen is someone could say no to you. And I kind of went, oh, I've heard that before. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And yeah, it's really true. You talk to 4 different designers and you'll get 4 different stories of how it all happened. So I think that's so great. Forge your path, do your thing, do you. As my daughter says, let me live.
Does she say that a lot, Bridget? Is this an issue? Is this? Do we need to work? Do we need to
the
work
real
on this?
answer? That's another conversation.
Okay, we'll check in with your daughter later and see how she's doing. But to that point about that, learning that lesson and being able to say to yourself, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Right? It's all going to fall apart. I'm curious. during the COVID years, we all felt as though we had learned so many lessons about how we were going to forever alter our business or our mindset about how we were going to run our business. And I wonder, and I'll start with you, Joanna, since you're kindly nodding, are there things that did forever change for you, and did it alter how you think about business going forward?
It was interesting because I think what happened back then, 2020 feels like forever ago.
Yeah.
But we all had to learn quickly in so many different areas of our life how to pivot, problem solve, all the things. But I feel like ever since that's happened, we've been on this weird trajectory as a culture of just moving fast and pivoting quick and kind of almost feeling like you can get lost in this like shuffle. Like when I think about whether it's social media or advertising, how do you even advertise anyways? When you think about all the things, if you're trying to grow your business, you can get lost in this. It's just the world is moving very fast. And there was something, I think, in a lot of us that kind of landed in our souls or in our guts, whatever you call it, where, okay, COVID was one thing, but as I kind of see just life in general, the older I get, the more I'm like, life is just fast moving, quick decisions. You can get caught up in that really quick. And as you're growing a business and you're thinking about the future of your business, if you're not foundationally like grounded in the why and all of those values that got you here to begin with, you can get swept away in that nonsense really quick, which is like, how do I make this quick hit? How do, and I feel like there is something about stepping back and getting out of that and saying, okay, I want to make the most beautiful retail store on Main Street so people can experience this feeling of home in my shop. And so for me, it's like, I don't want to get lost in that because it's just a quick, life is so fast right now, and I think we're all getting caught up in it in some way. Where it's like, how do we step back and go, this is the business I'm building, and whether it makes sense to add more or not add more, this is what my gut instinct is telling me to do because that's what's gotten me here. And so I think it's just relying on those foundational principles that I can remember from 20 years ago that are still the same about why I'm doing what I'm doing and landing there and not getting caught up just in the whatever. So I don't remember your question, but I think you were asking. I don't really remember. I blacked out during COVID. Don't remember those days.
You know where you are, though, right?
But
Okay.
I feel like when I read all the reports about retail and you can get like, oh, now I got to do this to get, and so whether you're influencing or you're whatever you're doing, it's just like, just get back to why you're doing this to begin with, or you're going to get lost in it. And I don't think that's sustainable. I think what's enduring and what sustains is what were those foundational roots? What were those things that got you to say yes in the first place? Go there. Don't get lost in that middle place.
Yeah. Right? And that's, I think, such an important message from all of this. And again, I was joking earlier, but all of you have so much opportunity presented to you all the time. And part of the challenge, and Bridget, you and I were having this conversation the other day, it's like, what feels right? What is you not moving too fast and getting caught up in it? You just entered into a partnership with Laloy. Huge step, right? See where that goes, see how that feels. And also, you talked to me about being very mindful about the people that you partner with, and as all of you were suggesting earlier. But talk to that, Bridget.
Well, I think what Joanna said is just so accurate and so important, because you have to know why you're doing this and what your voice is and your eye and your soul. What makes you want to do this? What makes you feel that you have something to contribute? And so thinking about those things are really the foundation of what we're doing. And that, I look at everything through that lens. So for me, I love the fact that we can help people to feel better and feel supported. And I genuinely believe that your environment, be it, you know, 1 room or 10 rooms, it doesn't matter, it's there to support you. You know, and that's my goal as a designer. I want to listen to my clients, and like I call it, learning to speak the science of my clients and what's important to them. So like when we leave as designers, they're really super happy. And so as a designer, that is my goal, and that's the lens at which I look through everything. So like working with Leloy, like I really wanted to know what they do and if they do it in a way that I am okay with and happy with, and is the product great, and when, you know, my client's shoe is taken off, are they going to have comfort? You know, so all of these things were things that I genuinely looked at because it speaks to what I want to do and how I want my business to move forward. So yes, being mindful is important, and it's what makes the difference. It makes it like, I can't do what Leanne does or Amber does or Joanna, you know, I do what I do. And so partnerships are an extension of that. But getting back to that is just, that's the core of all of our, should be the core of all of our businesses. And that's how we get through when it's crazy, when there's frenzy, or when it's, you know, slow, whatever it is, just having that sort of core of understanding about why we do what we do. And you live in that, and that makes everything all right.
Yeah.
I think the joy of the partnership for us in creating product is we can't be everywhere. You know, we can't take on all the clients, but we can provide product, and you can do it, or you can do it with your clients. And that's been my favorite part, is like, you know, sharing kind of, here, use these, and these are the tools, and here's our tricks. And, you know, that's the fun thing about creating product in these partnerships, is being able to give it to more people.
And not doing anything that you're not going to personally be proud of. I think that was a big lesson that I learned along the way too, in various endeavors and things that I've tried. If I wasn't happy with it or wasn't proud of it, I tend to realize that that's when it fails. So as I've learned over these last however many years it's been, I only do things that, like, again, feel really good, but with people that are understanding of not only the aesthetic, that they respect your aesthetic and they respect your point of view, and they're not going to try to alter it too much. And I think when someone wants to just put your name on their brand, that's it. Like, you've already failed, in my opinion. I think you really have to have a strong point of view and partner with people that respect that point of view. And that's hard. That's not easy. It's a luxury that we can stand up here and be like, yeah, just go with Crate. Big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
just go with one of the largest retailers in the world. Sure.
Yeah, just get a Leloy line.
Yeah,
Who cares?
exactly. Yeah.
But it takes time, and everybody, and you told me 10 years ago that this is where I was going to be sitting, I would have laughed and told you, I will be drunk. I will not be. Yeah. Or you guys are drunk. I am not, right? You just never think that you're going to get there. So really just knowing that you learn things, you move on, you take those lessons, and you never do it again. With partnerships specifically.
Yeah, no.
Wink, wink.
No. It's a great point, though, because the licensing conversation comes up all the time, right? And people might think, oh, it's a quick trip to make some extra money. It's going to take me in a different direction. It's going to make me a star. But, right? It doesn't quite work that way, does it? I mean, look at all of you up here on the stage.
I could take you to dinner. I definitely could take you to dinner.
And I hope you will. I hope you will. Thank you.
Actually, this has been therapy, so you owe me
right.
money.
I'm supposed to take you to dinner. Right. Okay.
I do owe you money. Yeah.
Great. So I don't even get a dinner out of the whole
You know,
thing.
I
Whatever.
think Amber's right, though. You know, when you can tell a partnership when somebody just says, okay, go ahead, use my name. You can feel that. Like, can you guys feel that? Or when somebody's like, I'm designing this. This is from, me. And you can tell the difference.
Exactly. And that's why I love that each of you have stressed the importance of really believing in that relationship. And when we talk about a business that endures, and you were driving this point home to me the other day, Joe, though you may not remember, but you were talking about the fact, as you were just saying earlier, actually, that you can feel it when it feels like, no, this is just a short-term fix. I get it. This might get us a few more followers, or this might ring the register on the e-commerce site quickly, but it's not something that feels good longer term. And staying close to that is what allows the business to endure and what has allowed your business to grow and thrive for all these years, is you've stayed close to whatever the North Star is for you, and it's home and it's family. You don't really need to say anything. I'll just put all the words in Joanna's mouth for her.
How do you answer your own? No,
but
just kidding. I think with partnerships, though, what I've loved is it's almost like, especially like with Laloy, I've gotten a master's degree in how to make a rug. There's so many things. I joked last year when we first started filming Fixer, I didn't use rugs, didn't know that was part of the thing because I was making stuff up as I went. And then season 2, I was like, after all the tweets, why doesn't this girl use a rug? Started using rugs, but was using the wrong size rugs. And so by season 3, it was like, okay, don't use a 3x4 rug under a coffee table. And then when Laloy called, I was like, have they seen my rugs in Fixer? So really, I can't believe
She's a great partner. No, really, she is.
I love Laloy, but I have literally gotten a master's degree in all the different types. And so for me, again, it's like when you have a teammate, I want to partner with someone I'm going to learn from, but I was also going to say, hey, this is what I can bring to the table. I kind of go off my gut instinct, my eye, and I can explain it. I may not be able to make it, and that's why a lot of these partnerships have just worked so well because they trust me where I want them to trust me, and then I trust them where I need to trust them, and then overall I've just learned so much, and it's that boats rising thing where we're all kind of going up together as partners, and so I love you, Laloy. Thanks for having me back. I go really big rugs now. Now I'm like, what's the biggest rug we can make?
Look for a lot more rugs in those shows. Yeah. So we're actually going to bring the Laloys up in a moment, but I want to ask a favor of all of you, which is that right after we're done, we're going to turn everybody around and we're going to take this really fun group shot with all of you in the background. And we'd love if you all just want to be waving or if you all just want to look happy, like you actually had a good time at this talk. That would be great. But we'd love it if you could all participate in the group family photo that we'll take afterwards. So that would be fun. But in the meantime, there are some Laloys here in the house. Why don't we invite them up? And Cyrus and Steven and they made all of this possible. They brought all of this together. And we're so grateful. Oh my gosh, and here is the father himself. Oh my goodness.
Don't forget about...
No, I'm so glad that... Yes. Oh my goodness.
We love Laloy, we sure do.
Here, take my mic.
Thank you, Dennis. And thank you to all the panelists. Let's hear it one more time for them. And of course, thank you, High Point Market Authority, and thanks to all of you for attending again. Last year was a packed house, and to see it again like this is something really special. So, thank you.
And thank you, Dennis. If you don't already listen to Business of Home, you should. He has some amazing panelists on there, like yours truly. So it's one of my favorite podcasts.
Wow, this is a big crowd. This is bigger than, I think, last year. So thank everyone to be here today, this morning. There's a lot to be celebrating. We are now 20 years old. It's been a very fun journey for me and for my family. So it wouldn't be possible without everyone's help, all of our customers, all of our employees, everyone, all of our partnership. Really, to be here today, it's a milestone, and I want to thank everyone to be part of Laloy family. Thank you.
So my work is all about having great conversations with really talented and generous people to help all of you to learn something meaningful. So will you please join me in thanking this incredible panel for their generosity and spirit. Thank you all.